to go over a couple of the tools you should be aware of that are in pretty much every database. And these tools are going to help you organize your research and make your entire research process a little bit easier and more efficient. So you really want to think through research before you even start and think about a strategy. One of the biggest mistakes that beginning researchers use is they go through and they find sources, but they haven't really set up an idea of how they want to keep those sources or organize those sources or just deal with those sources. So I want to show you a couple things that you can use in these databases because they all contain this information. So we're going to look at the Gale in Context database just as an example, but this is available in ProQuest. It's available in any of the Gale databases, Credo. Most databases have some version of these tools. So let's just take a look at a viewpoint article, and we'll just pick one at random. So when you go to the actual source in the database, what you're going to see in every single database are options to cite them, send the source, download, print, get a link, highlight, and take notes. If you're ready to go ahead and read the source right now, and you want to highlight and take notes in the source, you can do that and save it. Most databases have a way you can set up an account. What I would actually suggest you do, though, is save yourself a copy of the source and take notes later. This is just going to make things go a little bit faster. So once you find a source and you've skimmed it enough to know that maybe you want to spend some more time on it later, what I would recommend that you do is download yourself a copy of the source. Usually this will be in some sort of a PDF. From there, you can save it. And what I would recommend that you do is I would recommend that you have some sort of a document file. You create a new folder. And then you make sure that the source file name is the source name so that you know exactly what you're looking at, and you can just save it straight to that folder. So once you save it, you don't have to keep signing into the database to access the source and to read it. So I definitely recommend that you download yourself a copy of the source in a PDF or some other file. From there, you're able to kind of pull up the source. So I can look and I can pull up a copy of the source as a PDF, and then I can use my PDF tools to basically do whatever I need to do to the source. I can draw notes on it, I can highlight text, whatever I need, and then I can save those notes, or I could take notes in a different application. So the other thing that you kind of want to pay attention to that you could do is you could send yourself the source. You could send it directly to your Google Drive or your OneDrive, or you could send it to your email. I like the idea of just downloading it if you are on your own personal computer because it's just going to save you a step. You could get the link for the source so that you can save it and go directly back to this link. That can be really good to help find the source later. The problem with that could be if the library databases are down or there's no access to them at the moment, that link isn't going to work. But if you have saved yourself a copy of the source, you don't have to worry about signing into the library. The other thing that you're going to want to do is capture the citation. So every single database has a citation generator. Usually they'll give you an option of MLA, APA, Chicago, or some other style. You want to make sure that you are looking at the most recent MLA. So if it lists a bunch of MLAs, we're on the 9th edition. If it lists a bunch of APAs, it's the one with the highest number, basically. It's going to give you the source formatted as close to the source as you possibly can get formatted. And from there, you can copy it and paste it into your own file. You could put it in an EasyBib file, a RefWorks. You could save it to Google Drive. I can show you how that works. And then it'll send the source directly to you. I really recommend that you capture the citation of the source and make yourself just like a running working bibliography list, because that way when you're ready to finalize your paper, you can just go to that list, pull the sources that you need. They're already formatted. You don't have to go back and try to do it again. So those are just a couple of the different resources. Other things to pay attention to: you can have the databases read sources to you. If you do better following along as someone reads, you can listen to the sources. You can select different display options if you have like learning disabilities, including dyslexia. There's ways that you can change the font type, the letter spacing to make it more readable for you. You can increase this font sizes, or you could even translate the article if English is not your first language, if that would help you comprehend what the article is saying. So those are a few of the different tools that you can find in pretty much every database. And it's really important that you at least start to think about how you want to save your sources right from the very beginning. You're going to change your mind, you're going to make adjustments as you go, but having a plan ahead of time will save you a lot of headaches in the long run. If you ever want more help with this or to brainstorm other ideas, feel free to reach out to me directly.